Hello and welcome to Tag1 Team Talks, the podcast of Tag1 Consulting. Today, I'm joined by two key members of Tag1's leadership team, Jeremy Andrews, the company's founder and CEO, and Steve Zipfel, our Director of Strategy and Innovation. After 14 years, Drupal 7 has officially been designated end of life, which means the Drupal security team is no longer going to be providing you with security releases or updates for Drupal 7 core or contributed modules or any compatibility updates. And yet there's still hundreds of thousands of sites that are running on and rely on Drupal 7. So to address that problem, the Drupal Association has authorized Tag1 to provide you with Drupal 7 extended support or D7ES to ensure that those D7 sites stay protected. Now, we're going to continue to monitor for security vulnerabilities and provide updates to Drupal 7 extended support users to maintain your site's security as long as you need to run Drupal 7. In today's Tag1 Team Talk, we're going to give you an update on everything that's transpired over the last 2 months, and there is a lot to cover. We're going to talk about multiple security vulnerabilities that have been discovered and fixed. Talk about Drupal's CKEditor support. CK4 is also end of life. It's the most popular editor. We've provided a free upgrade path to CK5. We're also excited to announce our SOC 2 attestation, talk about our SLA, our exclusive partnership with Pantheon. There's a lot to cover today, so welcome. I'm Michael Meyers. I'm the Managing Director at Tag1. For those of you who aren't familiar with Tag1, we build large-scale applications with Drupal, as well as many other technologies for global 500s and large organizations in every industry and sector, including Google, Sumitomo, Al Jazeera, the New York Times, the White House, the American Federation of Teachers, just to name a few. We have the largest concentration of top Drupal contributors and security team members at any other organization. And we're really responsible for a lot of the innovations that have really helped make Drupal the success that it is. And we want to apply that expertise to help you with your mission critical projects and ensure that they're a huge success. So if you need help with your large scale applications or Drupal 7, please email us at info@tag1.com. That's TAG, the number 1.com. Well, it's finally here. More than 14 years after its initial release, Drupal 7 has officially been designated end of life. And you'd think, after all these years, there really wouldn't be a lot to talk about, but we have a lot of news to share. And it's important that if you're running Drupal 7, that you pay attention to these news and announcements and security updates to make sure that your site stays up to date and secure. Steve, let's start with the latest security updates that came out. Give us a little background and overview of what's gone down over the last 2 months.
Sure. There was a security release came out not that long ago, right near the end of EOL. And the security release included important fixes for D7 vulnerabilities, such as cross-site scripting vulnerability in Drupal core's overlay module. The overlay module doesn't safely handle user input, leading to reflected cross-site scripting under certain circumstances. Only sites with the overlay module actually enabled are affected by that vulnerability. Another is a potential object injection vulnerability, which when combined with other vulnerabilities in Drupal core, contrib or custom modules could lead to remote code execution. Interestingly enough, this also impacts Drupal 10. Tag1 is the only D7ES provider with experience running extended support for Drupal. This was a common occurrence in the past. Vulnerability that impacts a supported or modern version of Drupal often impacts the version that is end of life. So anytime a D8, 9, 10, or 11 vulnerability is discovered, we have to review it, and then we determine if it impacts D7. And if so, we put out a fix for D7 as well.
That's a really important thing to note. There's a big active community of users as part of the open source community that are constantly taking a look at Drupal. And so Drupal 7 users really benefit from all the work that's being done on modern Drupal when it comes to security. Our intent when talking about security vulnerabilities, and I think it's really important to mention this, is not to fearmonger. You need to do your own risk assessment, but it is super easy to get these patches and updates and apply them to your site. And so we really encourage you to do so. And to that end, we're really excited to announce that we're going to be open sourcing all of our patches for Drupal 7 extended support to make sure that everybody in the community can benefit. Jeremy, can you tell us a little bit about what we're doing and why we chose to do this?
Yeah, well, we've been writing and maintaining Drupal for decades now. So we have two plans for D7ES, in which there is what we call the self-service plan, that for $150 a month, we monitor which modules you have installed on your site and keep an eye for security issues affecting them. If we find them, we patch it, we test it, and you get a notification that says, hey, this module on your website needs to be updated. We have another plan, a premium plan, which is that, but we also provide somebody to install the patch for you and help you with your Drupal 7 website. But not everybody can afford even that. And so if we've created a patch and distributed it roughly 30 days or so afterward, we will release it open source so that even people who are not paying for our service can still protect their Drupal 7 website. If you can't afford it, it's important because for us to even be aware of an issue, somebody has to have purchased our service and have that module installed. We're not monitoring every single Drupal 7 website, every single Drupal 7 module. We're just monitoring the modules that our customers have installed. But in any case, yes, it will be fully open sourced under the same GPL as Drupal itself to make sure that Drupal 7 stays secure.
There's a lot of benefits to pay for the Drupal 7 extended support program, as you mentioned. Another reason that I want to add is that, at some point, as we saw with Drupal 6, after many years, it just doesn't become financially viable to support it if people aren't paying for it. There's a customer base. So at some point, we're going to end this service. The more folks that continue to pay for and help fund these efforts. And it is a huge effort to look at all these vulnerabilities just on a day-to-day basis, let alone put together the patches for them. So if you can support it, it's in your best interest for the coverage that Jeremy mentioned, as well as to ensure that the service is still around. But we really do care about the community. One of the things I love about Drupal 7 is the user base. I mean, Drupal 8 and beyond became a much more enterprise platform. And while that's exciting and great for businesses like ours in many respects, the fact that there were so many local governments, small non-for-profits on Drupal 7, which we played a really big part in putting together, makes me really proud that, and so being able to provide them with support for free is great. To that end, I also want to talk a little bit about our Pantheon partnership. So we're an exclusive partner with Pantheon, and another great way for people to get support is through Pantheon. If you are a Pantheon customer, you get free Tag1 Drupal 7 extended support at the self-service level at no cost as part of your Pantheon plan. Another opportunity for folks, Pantheon has some really great price points for smaller organizations, as well as awesome plans for enterprises. But it may be less expensive for a lot of folks just to migrate their site over to Pantheon, take advantage of all of their tools and technology and get Drupal 7 extended support for free. So a lot of different ways that you can go about getting our service. We really do want to make sure that it is open and available to the community. Keep in mind that if you do need support, that is not included in your Pantheon plan. So come to d7es.tag1.com if you're looking to sign up for the supported plans. We put a ton of work into achieving our SOC 2 attestation. Jeremy, I don't know that a lot of people know what SOC 2 is. I always hear like SOC 2 compliance. It's actually an attestation. Could you tell us a little bit about what SOC 2 is and why it's important to users?
Yeah, SOC 2 is a compliance framework. And it basically is a method of taking seriously and proving that that you have there's five trust principles essentially that the framework works around. So it's security, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy. And we put controls into place that validate that we are taking all of these things seriously and operating in ways that protect people's data security and all these things I just mentioned. So if you go to our website at d7estag1.com and go into the footer, you can find our Trust Center, which actually shows you all the controls that we're testing against to prove that that we are taking all of these things seriously, protecting people's data. If you go there, there's 5 different sections that are the principles that are followed there. But the reason it's important is that it shows that we're not just monitoring Drupal for security issues, but all the data that we collect, all the processing that we do, and the way that we distribute it is done in a professional, reliable, and auditable way.
And this applies to Tag1 Consulting and our engineering services, as well as our Drupal 7 extended support, correct? It's holistic.
The entire company, yes, that is correct.
Awesome. So it's third-party validation of what we've done all along. And you can check out that Trust Center and see all the crazy different areas that were monitored and validated to get that assurance.
And there's regular audit cycles. So every single year we go through a 3-month process to audit again and to ensure that we're following all the policies and controls we put in place.
And who doesn't love audits? All right. The next thing I want to cover is CKEditor. So while it wasn't the default editor in Drupal 7, CKEditor 4 was by far the most popular editor used in Drupal 7. Unfortunately, it went end of life over a year ago. And so for the longest time now, most users on Drupal 7 that are using it have been running end-of-life software with known vulnerabilities. CK Source, the company behind it, does offer a paid support program similar to D7ES, which is an option. What we've just released is a free upgrade path to CKEditor 5. So you literally just need to install our D7ES CKEditor 5 module. We'll put a link in the show notes for you. It supports all the default plugins. Plus, we've also added 2 essential plugins, things that pretty much everybody has been using. We made them available by default now. One is the image support and the other is the file support. And so we backported these from the backdrop implementation, so they should get a lot of credit for making those happen. It's really important that you maintain these critical features. If you have custom plugins, this is the one exception. It's not a lot of effort, depending upon the complexity, to migrate your custom plugins from CK4 to CK5. However, if you do need help, we've developed some AI-based tooling to dramatically reduce the effort. We have a bunch of clients that have huge libraries of CKEditor for plugins, and we have a lot of clients that move from CKEditor 4 to 5. And so this tooling can really help you expedite that process. We're very willing to support you in that service. The last thing I want to talk about today is our service level agreement, the SLA. Jeremy, can you just give us a high level? I know there's a lot going on in that SLA. We really can't get into the details too much, but just at a high level, can you give us a sense of what's going on with the SLA?
Yeah, first of all, you can find our SLA published on the website. If you look in the footer, there's a header that says SLA. You can click on it and you read all of it. So it's not hidden and it's there for people to look at. We're specifically pointing out that that we are reviewing patches in a timely manner. If they're highly critical or critical, we turn around a fix within 24 hours. If they're moderately critical, it might take as much as a week, and then the less critical ones could take longer. And there's a process, an official process for determining just how critical these issues are. Then there's also clauses in there to if somehow we were to miss the SLA, what that means for the customer and to make sure they get some credits back for that. But we've done this with D6. We did it for many years, and we've never had trouble meeting our SLAs. We just want people to understand how seriously we take this.
Definitely. I think it's really important for our users to, see SOC 2, to see the SLA, and know that we're taking these things seriously. We're going to do a lot more of these updates in the coming months. Please stay tuned. We'll put them out on our blog and through the various different channels that we distribute our podcast. We have some exciting feature announcements coming up with respect to jQuery support and an update path on that front that supports a broader user base. We're going to talk about the testing harness. Drupal 7, when it ran on Drupal.org, had a massive testing harness that ensured every individual release had broad compatibility across a lot of different databases and site configurations and operating systems. We help design and manage that on behalf of the Drupal Association, and we're bringing that to the Drupal 7 Extended Support Program so that you can have that same level of confidence and reliability. And that's what was really critical to the success of the adoption of Drupal 7, that you could just take a download, a release, and install it, and enable the development community to move faster. And so it'll be a great addition to the D7ES program. And of course, we'll cover any upcoming security vulnerabilities that are addressed and released. Steve, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me today. We'll put links to everything that we mentioned in the show notes. For more information, please be sure to check out D7ES at tag1.com. Please remember to upvote, subscribe, share this with folks that are interested in using Drupal 7. You can check out our other Tag1 team talks on Drupal 7 Extended Support and many other topics. CKEditor will have another one coming out on our SOC 2 in greater detail. It's at tag1.com/TTT. That's 3 T's for Tag1 team talks. And as always, we'd love your input and feedback on what topics we can cover, whether it's Drupal 7, Starshot, the Drupal CMS, other things that are going on in the community. We're happy to put together talks. We have exciting things in the works on workspaces, infrastructure work around the Drupal CMS, Gander, the automated testing framework for Drupal that we put together with Google, all coming out in the next couple of weeks. Please write us at ttt@tag1.com. Again, TAG, the number 1.com. Thanks and take care.